cuchos, dude. If we're
We
trying to
do,
be
we
intimidating, we
do,
need a
we do.
cucho.
We definitely need to get one of them. Holy
Yeah,
shit,
we're gonna
they're
get a
pretty
couple
cool.
bites probably.
How y'all doing?
Welcome, Nino. What's up, dude?
Sure, mate.
Not too much, not too much. I'll cut to the chase. I came back to Los Santos about 2 weeks ago. Do a little bit of legal work down in the cells, some cell rep. Quickly found out it is a fucking nightmare, not only just for myself, but every other lawyer in the city. As I try to petition to get just answers to very basic questions, I was met with hostility, pushback, and what I can best describe is emotion before logic and excuses instead of action. And I've since decided to run for mayor. And in order to bring transparency, not only for the government, but also put civil rights and the right of the people before, well, virtually everything else.
Okay, one second. I'm in a meeting, okay? I'm in Mirror Park, though. Sorry about that.
So I wanted to I've been kind of doing my rounds, making myself available to folks that have any questions. But also, you know, I haven't really met with like, I don't know if you guys, other than Mary, have you met me before in the past?
Not really. I've seen you now.
A long time ago.
I think everyone here knows. I think everyone here knows you.
Oh,
we all
shit.
heard-
Seen the name type shit. Yeah.
Okay.
He's being raised gang, so he used to talk a lot about you.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I used to run a company called Sahara International investment firm about 10 years back, followed by Pegasus. I used to be the class 2 gun dealer, the little weapons factory outside of Mission Row PD that they never found for about 3 years till I gunned down the entire police department alongside my secretaries, who, after El Sab had his ICU plug pulled, and then eventually I got back into law. Believe it or not, I haven't committed a single felony.
I don't believe that you haven't committed one. I believe that you haven't been caught for one.
No, I genuinely, I was thinking about this earlier today. I haven't committed a single felony.
How long?
6 years?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't go 10 minutes without committing a felony.
Honestly, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, look
I-
at one right now.
Yeah,
We're all committing felonies, actually.
Yeah. Well, no, I can see that. Oh yeah, I was running Los Santos Customs for about 2 months before Juno Sweeney had beef with someone who was selling me material, aka Eve Summers. She whispered in Max's ear, and I was told I'm indefinitely not going to be getting a place for whatever reason, because bullshit. I'm not going to necessarily hold that grudge, even though I hope she dies. But I do not want to see those kind of personal things affect anybody. And that includes yourselves if you ever looking to run a business. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of hit you with the 3 main things I'm aiming for.
Sure.
The first is I need to be available. Number 2, transparency of the government. I want to, first line of legislation I want to get passed is to allow for anyone in Los Santos, as long as they get enough signatures, if they are dissatisfied with any member of the council, to be actually petitioned for their removal. I don't think, while I do think there's value in bringing criminal charges or whatever, going through the docket, spending a month or whatever the fuck, that I think that there needs to be facilities in place that if there is a, to allow for a vote of no confidence. I think that immediately puts power into the hands of the people and establishes self-accountability. The government should fear the people, not the other way around.
I definitely agree with that, dude. 100%.
How that process is going to work is something that would take some conversation, but is at the very forefront. Because if I'm not doing my job, I want you guys to remove me, right? And I think that process shouldn't take more than a week.
With like a gun or with like our vote?
No, with a vote, right? So if
Yeah, I'm just clarifying because like that can mean multiple things.
I'm medical service. Sorry, wait, could you speak up a little bit?
So I don't think you want us to start a queue. That's not what you're trying to say.
No. I think coups and things like that are more like a reactionary thing, right? So the next thing that I'm aiming for is a actual Department of Commerce consisting of individuals that are productive. And what that would mean is if anyone, small or big, you want to go run a business proposal, right? You'll have an avenue by which some set of individuals can review it, approve it with a public reason why it's approved or a public reason why it is disapproved, and the course of action that would need to be taken to elevate that application. Now, what that means is, let's say, Mary, let's say you wanted to start a business. And right now you come to me and I'm like, you know what? Mary looked at me sideways, denied. No, fuck that. I think you should bring it. You send that to the Department of Commerce. It gets logged immediately so no one can yoink your shit, right? Because it shows on record you came with the idea first. Time, date, stamp, everything. And if someone says, well, Mary, you're asking to make guns in the back in the fucking basement, right? We're gonna have to deny it because that is illegal. Now everybody knows what that denial reason is, and they cannot use some bullshit. And I think by establishing that, that means once I'm gone out of position, now people can free-formally, go through a very, I think, checks and balances through system.
Yeah, I agree.
The third thing that I'm looking to do is legislation in Los Santos has been coming to a standstill. Recently, the FOIA and common law legislation has passed through a lot of effort put by a lot of people, but it took a tremendous amount of time to make that happen. In addition to that, legislation cannot even be considered because the council can only meet once a week. That is not efficient. It's slow. People move on. If there's grievances, things that need to change sooner, that should happen. So how does that occur? I'm not sure what I'm going to call this department. I'm calling it the Bar Association for now, but I think it's going to be a little bit more. I want the lawyers to be the ones that are looking after the lawyers. I want the lawyers to have the ability to actually be the legislators. Now, what does that mean? Let's say, do you guys have any lawyer that you use in particular?
Yeah, we have a couple of them.
So let's say one of them, they know your issues better than anyone else in the city. They know the law better than anyone else in the city. So I want to empower them individually to be able to say, hey, these people in Mirror Park are having these problems. I have a great way to come up with it, to resolve it. They should be able to write a proposed legislation, review it with the Bar Association that may have like different points of views, right? Some may have better understanding on the PD side of things, So they then can push it up to the console, and it's already 90% of the work is already done, right? It's got the reasoning, it's got the writing, it's got it's got people that are backing it, right?
No way.
And now, so this is kind of the big pieces that I'm coming in with. And I would love to have you vote. I don't expect you to, tell me you're going to back me now, but I want you to, this is your time to ask me any questions, no matter what it is. Nothing would offend me.
Okay. I mean, I definitely can't say that we're gonna commit to voting for you now. We even had a chance to see who all the candidates are, but I mean,
Yep,
I kind of like
absolutely.
what you're saying. I definitely like what you're putting down. What are your overall goals? What would you change, as the overall mayor? Oh, yo, what's up, Tux?
Oh shit, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is your overall goal? Just to change these procedural things, or do you have bigger goals in mind?
I think those three things sort of fill in some of the cracks that have been left alone in the last 7 months. And
Okay.
I think by, between the accountability, a better process for businesses to have you should be able to access anyone in the Department of Commerce like anytime. You shouldn't have to wait like a freaking week or get like non-answers. Like, you go put in your business proposal.
What would your goal of the Department of Commerce be? Actually, now that you mention it.
What's the word I'm looking for? Feedback, right? So you actually know why something is approved or denied. So they should be that they've got the understanding of like business law, right? In that forum. They should also have a good understanding of like what is and isn't possible and be able to feed that back to those that are putting the proposals and give them the guidance. So that there isn't a monopolization on approvals, but rather it's more of a tool that people can use to actually make their business a reality. Because I think sometimes, if some new guy comes through and they got a really good idea, but they don't, they're proposing something, if they're just getting a denial, what do they do with that? We need to be able to help encourage them to elevate, because businesses are the hearts of what makes Los Santos tick, right? It's
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, when businesses were getting denied, people had no fucking idea why, and it was really demoralizing. So
1,000%.
Department that's responsible for that. Well, okay, listen. You're very intimately involved in this conversation. How would you feel about some sort of legislation that discourages people from undercutting and undermining legitimate businesses with their own sideshow freak shit?
You're talking about the Anti-Vinny Act?
Yeah, basically.
You're not. As someone who's run businesses for a while, if anyone's doing some dumb shit like that, legislation, that should be at the top of the list, to be honest. What
Like
he
right
was
now,
doing way
there's no
back when,
point in
hell
having
no.
a business license, like
No.
I mean, it's great that I have it and all this stuff, but really anyone can be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They don't need the business license for it,
I agree with you. So you're saying like, how do we deal with like people that like fix their cars on the side of the road?
Not even.
Because
It's just like, these unlicensed shops like Vinny's and shit that are running around just doing these repairs because they fucking can charge you whatever prices they feel like. They're exempt from the business process and they're still operating a business. You know what I mean?
I think that legislative stepping stones need to be put into place that encourage Vinny to legitimize. And I think that's a huge key. The problem right now, from what I see, is what has been proposed is so inherently anti-business that so I'm going to take it in two approaches. Vinny absolutely destroyed mechanic shops way back when, because his sense of like being this like hero for Los Santos was so absolutely beyond stupid that he was giving like borderline like relative millionaires, people with like $200,000 in the bank account, all these discounts, fucking over mechanics and completely destroying all mechanic shops.
100%.
Now I think that is a problem, but then subsequently I think on a separate problem, why isn't he running? Why doesn't he want to run it legitimately? I think that is a separate issue, and that issue I think is highlighted by the fact that the current business law says the government owns the business, and if you're a mechanic shop, everyone needs to be clean. But it's like there's no value that comes with it. So why would you run a clean, business licensed operator of a mechanic shop? It doesn't make any sense. So I believe more in carrots rather than sticks, right? So I want people to say, oh shit, I need a business license, not because I'm going to go to jail, but because there's like actual tangible benefits that come with it. And I know I'm talking vaguely.
Yeah, I should actually mention, I don't know if you're unaware, but you can actually run, operate, and maintain and own a business shop with felonies, or a mechanic shop with felonies on your record.
Isn't it? I thought it doesn't it fall under tier 3?
It's a tier 1 business.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tier
so
1 is the people that Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I don't have a felon on my record, but if I got one, nothing would change. So
tier 1 is the people that give the service. Tier 2 are the ones that do the trading, and tier 3 are the ones that make the parts.
Yeah,
okay.
The issue is that like they can't really stop us from making the parts and stuff right now, even as a tier 1 business. So it's like,
Yeah. Oh, yes. No. 1000%. So I think we're kind of saying the same.
Yeah.
I was taking it from the approach of like most mechanic shops probably get their own supplies, manufacture them, etc., etc. I want to
Yeah,
actually
probably good.
remove the government as. I don't want to remove the government. I don't think you're getting empowered. And even way back when I petitioned the mayor with Los Santos Customs, I was sort of met with this notion that we can't do something because we're waiting. How do I put this? There was a certain phraseology that I'm not going to use, but oh yeah, I got a good way to say it. We're waiting on construction. No, bullshit.
Yeah.
The infinite void of waiting.
Yeah, that is a lazy,
you don't need
inept
construction
excuse.
to write fucking lies, you know?
Yep, precisely. There's a reason why you were able to function. There's a reason why I was able to function. There's something called Google Docs. They're not difficult to use. There's things that we can do in the interim. And I think like and even that could mean government
You know
stipends.
what's funny? We don't even use Google Docs for us. I set up our entire process so that it can be completely fucking spreadsheetless. We're
Boom.
still operating just fine.
Boom. Why not? Could you imagine, Mary? Like, let's say I'm not saying you do this, but imagine you were to spin off a business that gives out some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Oh my God! Like this city is full of very innovative and creative individuals, and
100%.
back in the day, we didn't have even like a tenth of what we have today, and businesses
True
used to
as fuck.
flourish. So, no excuses is the way I look
I
at
think
it.
it's, you know, a lot of people are used to having the work done for them instead of putting in the work, you know?
1,000%.
They would like a ready-made drop-in they would like to be able to walk up and say, hello, I own business now, and then they would possess a fully functioning business that they can just then press the levers press the buttons and pull the levers and make money.
Agreed.
You know? They don't want to actually have to fucking put in the time and the effort to make a business.
Yep.
I don't think we should be catering to people like that, frankly. I think that the laws
agree.
should be catered to people who actually that put in the work, you know? Good, strong, red-blooded Americans, all right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like 5 years ago, you know, you had the little business shops and you went up to the little local there that just sold you shit. I mean, listen, we don't need shit like that.
We don't even need that. It's nice, but we don't need it.
We don't need it. And I think, to circle back on the original question, I think I want to see businesses get carrots. So there's a inherent benefit for taking the right approach rather than taking the opposite approach of saying, oh my God, we found some reason to shut your shop down, take it away, or throw people in the jail. That's not healthy. That doesn't encourage individuals from being creative. I think it does the opposite. I don't want to shut people down. I want to bring them up. And those who are succeeding should benefit. So.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Any other questions?
Listen, I don't have any more questions personally. But I will say that, like, if this mayoral run does end up happening, and we can't find any other candidates, you're probably going to be at the top of my list. I
appreciate that. I think you're looking at Osvaldo and Kyle Pred.
Yeah, you're already at the top of my list.
Yeah.
Nino, I got a question. It's shit.
Yep.
What's up? What do you think about people losing their weapon sizes because of reckless evading and shit?
I am so glad you brought that up. Right now, I am about half of my clients have warrants with negligent ownership of a firearm. I am getting clarity on that. I'm waiting for a call from a justice in regards to it. He's looking into it. But that further extends into people that are deemed losing licenses, losing their job at G6 due to non-violent felonies. I want to see some legislative change in that space because I think, well, let me put it this way. Jason Pollum can now not own a firearm because he's a race car driver. I don't believe in that. I think that inherently encourages non-violent felons to become violent felons. And I'll explain why.
100%.
Imagine you own a gun because you don't want to get rolled by chain gang, right?
Same.
Like, so now you got a gun, right? You're using it as you should to defend yourself. You decide to join a street race. Now the government says, no gun for you, right? Well, now what are you going to do? What happens when you get held up? Eventually,
That's what I'm
because you
saying.
don't want to die and you don't want your friends to die, you're going to acquire a illegal weapon. And then what? You know, the current laws are sort of encouraging the creation of felons instead of discouraging. So I think things like that need to be shored up. So that is at the top of my list.
You want to hear some funny shit with the whole criminal negligence?
Mm-hmm.
So, I've had my weapons license for like, I'd say 4 months, right? In those 4 months, I've gotten robbed, I'd say 4, maybe 5 times of my weapon, all during sanitation or G6, because I used to roll G6, so you remember, I used to do some shit like that. And then I transitioned to sanitation.
JJ, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I transitioned to sanitation. Every report that I did was cops arriving at the scene of robbery. I got fucked up. They picked me up, like saw that I was there, tried to collect evidence. They took my statement at the hospital. All reports completely filled thorough, and it was just me doing my fucking job and trying to defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I get hit with a text. I'll read it to you so you can get half the tea. It was like, hold on, let me see. Let's see, where is it? Okay, here. Okay. Hello, Mr. Jimenez. This is an officer with the LSPD. This is a message to inform you that your weapons license has been suspended for 30 days. Please bring any firearms you have purchased to MRPD as soon as possible. So, I called the cops, right? And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I'm like, give me your badge and number.
Yeah.
Didn't respond to my text.
Oh my
The
god.
police didn't want to give me their the name of the officer that did the shit.
No.
But check. Yeah, they didn't say for his safety. I don't have a felony, Nino. I don't have a felony. What kind of safety are they afraid of, man? And then not only that, but they told me the judge's name. So I went to the judge, and after the judge reviewed my thing, she was like, well, that was definitely a one-sided situation, and she restored my weapons license from that.
Well,
They said the excuse that they were giving is that my reports look too sus.
See, so I'm gonna do one even better. The law that I want to pass is called NVL. I don't know what it's gonna stand for. I don't know why I like that acronym. But the idea is that people should be able to defend themselves without, the feeling that you did something wrong. And this kind of falls into that umbrella.
Crazy, man.
I don't actually currently understand how the police department. So the police department is actually okay. I'm going to give you an example. There is a client that I've got who lost his weapons license under the belief he's selling them. The problem that I have with that is, according to the law, per the letter of the law, and according to my understanding of things, given that the fact that a warrant is an internal document, which I don't really buy to begin with, because I think it's a matter of public record, given that you can look it up in the fucking courthouse, which means that there was a magistrate that put it out there. We can't FOIA it. But if we're going to go with the realm of it's an internal document, but they're making changes to your record, which means removing the weapons license without a felony, that's unconstitutional. So I generally believe that the PD taking your license before on record they have shown that there is probable cause is effectively like a illegal search and seizure. It's a seizure of your license, and it's not in line with the gun license laws that are currently in place. So that's a whole battle that I'm currently writing something up on.
Yeah, there was essentially victim blaming me. Den even like said like,
Oh,
you have
wait.
4 weapons.
Never mind.
Yeah, Den even said like, oh, what are you doing? I know what you're doing, Joaquin Jimenez. You've lost 4 weapons. This is very suspicious. I know what you're doing. I'm gonna find out what you're. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking
Brother.
about? There's all reports, literally taken by police on scene of me getting robbed.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the
The-
police is nowadays.
If
Yeah, but I mean, like, let's be intellectually honest here. Not a single one of those robberies actually happened, JJ.
Listen, they might have not
Like, I
happened,
just want to
but
be
not the-
like, listen,
Manny.
I don't disagree with your main point, but I think we need to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
an important
they
point.
might
That's-
not
The
happen,
condo, the condo,
but to
right?
the eyes of them,
They got proof on the right. though.
I mean, can I go
Hey,
fish
listen,
that ranch
listen.
out of the,
Damn, you got called out.
you called me out, man. What the fuck? But anyways,
Yeah.
like in
Who
their
did that? Was it
eyes,
me,
in
bro?
their
I didn't do
eyes, in their eyes, like it's not. I don't know.
I think
In
it's
their eyes, it shouldn't
reasonable.
be like that.
I think it's reasonable that if they have something on you, that they formally press charges on you, right? And the way that I interpret what I'm seeing is I see 1 or 2 arrests a day, but I see warrants getting placed almost nonstop. Most of the people I call up are for criminal negligence of a firearm, and it is beyond me why they cannot get the arrest before the removal. To me, it's kind of like putting the cart before the horse and try to pump like arrest numbers. And that doesn't sit well with me, because for every JJ, there's also some of my other clients that genuinely did not get a report written, even though they, put it forward. So, I there's some things I've been mulling in my mind, which is, maybe there being some sort of database, right? Once again, it can be an Excel sheet where there's a way to know whether these things are being done. But I think it's an entire space that I don't have the exact answer for, but I know where I'd like to take it,
Okay.
So
I have a question though for you, Nino.
Yep.
If you don't mind me asking. I'm Ivan, by the way.
Bella's around.
This you talk about a lot of things, and this is too many things for one person to handle.
Okay.
You obviously would have to have a bunch of people working with you.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea who would you have?
Yes. So my so Kit Acha, I'm looking as my chief of staff, ex-cop, now lawyer. She's very intelligent. She also keeps me balanced, right? Because if I come from the approach of fuck the police department, she can come in with the, well, hold on. I just got done talking to Samantha Morningstar, who also brings some very good perspective. I'm also from a larger scope, looking for more of a political party, right? And that means having people around me that bring intelligence, sensibility, and have a action over yap approach to things.
Hey, careful!
I think the other angle to this is that is where the Department of Commerce and this sort of what I've been referring to as the Bar Association, even though it's probably going to be called something else, comes into play as well, because I cannot, you're right, reasonably take on everyone's problems and take on all the different types of legislation that needs to be passed. And I'd rather empower people and give them the ability to not only have a voice, but actually have a track to get things passed and reviewed. I think the city council in general should not spend one day a week coming up with bullshit. I think instead their job is to review things, give their insight, and then be responsible to make a vote on those things. And then when the vote is past a certain threshold, that the people of Los Santos have a say. So I would be coming in as a mayor that is an actual executive rather than just, hey, I can do everything. Because executives run companies. They're not,
So you're saying you're gonna run the government like a business?
1,000%.
Damn it.
Party of small government?
Well, I think so. Well, I
We're
wouldn't
gonna
say
purge all the corrupts. We're gonna drain the swamp.
1,000%.
You got my fucking vote, Nina.
Yeah.
Fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
That's what
You know
I
what,
need to
Nino?
hear this month.
You have
That's
my
what I needed
fucking
to hear
vote,
this
man.
fucking month, bro.
All
Hey,
right.
go on, like you seem like the only actual choice in between the three
Yo,
that we
Nino,
have right now.
I heard that fucking the current mayor has a fucking bullshit. The chief of security. Listen, if you need one, I'll get it done. I'll get you done. for you.
Really? Yeah, there is kind of a those are things I'm mulling.
DJ, you're never gonna do the paperwork.
What
Let's be
are you?
honest.
It's chief of security. What do you mean?
Oh, that's a nothing position.
So,
I mean, listen, Nino
Standing
needs
there
backup. I
look
got it.
oh hell yeah. I think there's right now my immediate focus is making sure I'm gonna have a website up so everybody in the city can see my talking points, the transparency, etc. And like I said, that's gonna be the biggest thing. I want you guys to feel like you can hold me accountable. If I'm not doing my job, I disappear in 2 weeks. I want you to be able to get me out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And in the long term, I want to leave a legacy where folks like Pred, Osvaldo, or anyone else can be mayor without it being the detriment of everybody.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I have one more question, Nino.
Mhm.
Like we know Pred rolls with the gang, right? Do you like
I didn't know that
You-
actually.
Girls are the besties, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So, like,
okay.
Yeah, I just want to like, do you roll with the gang? Like we're not gonna find out like 2 weeks later, like just so we know, you know.
So
If
for
you're
some,
being
there is some belief that I'm Chang Gang for some reason. But I have no allegiances to anybody other than Los Santos. I don't got time for gang shit. I'm gonna be honest.
okay.
I am transparently speaking to. Give me a second. 20 different groups. C4 Bestie, Cypress, Hydra, Chaos Legion, Sifgan, CG, Lumber Union, BBMC, Manor, KTB, Southside Ball, Saints, The Hidden, The Clowns, The Guild, Hades, Black Lotus, Mary. At the end of the day,
What? My group's just called Mary?
oh
Kinda
yeah.
share org.
Well, they
What the
didn't
hell?
tell they didn't tell me what it like what they didn't expand on it. I had you.
Well, you can write it down as Kaneshiro, okay?
On a sheet up. All right, there we go. Update.
You're gonna have to
There we
play.
go.
That was my
Updated.
only question. That was my last question, honestly. Like you 100% have my vote.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
I think you
That
know,
does go kind of hard, though. Just my name.
Yeah.
all over the games.
Okay, Mary. All right.
Mary.
I think-
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta talk to Changang and BBMC and Hades and
Yeah.
Mary.
no, I think I haven't really had any allegiances since the Clean Boys like 8 years ago. Once Donnie left, it was you know, I had other aspirations. So maybe one day, but not anytime soon.
I
What
got
about
you.
your other people like Kit and stuff? That I know that she's with Hades,
Oh, I did not know that.
or at least she's. I don't know if she's in fact in it, but she
Mhm.
does a lot of stuff for them. I guess. that's what I say.
Samantha also
think-
rolls with the gang, by the way, too.
Yeah.
I think the way I see it is like gang politics have value, but I think it's important for there to be a separation, at least from my own perspective, from gang politics from the greater politics that affects everybody, right? And
How can you ensure
Yeah, that
that
makes
those
sense.
those two don't intersect?
I mean,
at
they're
the greater
gonna. Like,
politics?
it's just, they're naturally always gonna intersect. 'Cause gangs live in the city, and,
mhm.
you know, that's just gonna happen.
My answer to that was I spent 3 years selling class 2 firearms and ensuring it landed in everyone's hand. And so I've dealt with that kind of stuff in the past, and I don't think it's too difficult to handle. I think really what it comes down to is if anyone presses me too hard for something that they specifically need, that is not that is the antithesis of benefiting the whole. I'll tell him to eat a dick. So,
Nice.
Good shit, you know. Really hope you win, man.
Yep, I appreciate that. I'm available
You do it
anytime you need
someday.
legal representation, have any other questions that pop up, concerns, whatever. I'm very open book on it.
All
You
right.
still have the same number?
Yeah, I should, yes.
8799.
Yep, that's the one.
All right,
Yellow
perfect.
pages are-
You have a good one, Nino.
I gotta take a 7 step.